Hey, Cooter! Joe! Check this out. There's Anywhere But Here, man, on this here podcast.
Oh, I like me some podcasts, man.
What y'all talking about?
We're talking about Anywhere But Here.
What's Anywhere But Here? Anywhere But Here in Mississippi?
No, man, Anywhere But Here over in England.
Hey, we ain't in England.
I know, but that's where the England's from.
What?
Hey, Cletus, remember when we went and saw that movie about the wars in the stars and they had like lightsabers and stuff like that? Well, these people here talk about things we like.
Really?
I guarantee.
Well, hot diggity damn. What we waiting for?
Anywhere But Here podcast.
Hello and welcome to Anywhere But Here, episode 32.
Yes, 32.
Yes, 32. We're going to do the Gumph again, which we forgot to do last week, but it was okay because we went well over time last week. You can find us on abhpod.com.
You can find us on Twitter at abhpod.
Indeed. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/abhpod.
And youtube.com/abhpodcast, where you can see the video and any videos we play and anything we have to show you.
Indeed. And also at abhpod.com. Sorry, I'm waving pens around. That's ridiculous. You can take a survey on there on our homepage that will help us tailor the content to you. It helps us know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. That is, unless you just want to comment on one of our many social media pages.
Yeah, sorry, I have to keep moving the mic. I've got a different mic this week.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And also...
also on the website, at the top right-hand corner, there is an Amazon banner you might see. So if you've got any shopping to do on Amazon, we'd appreciate if you go to abhpod.com, click on the banner, and then buy your stuff.
Yeah, because we get a little bit of money back from what you spend. We essentially get like 5% of what you spend, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
And we'll hopefully we will be able to fund next year's subscription to the website and everything. So
I'll have to do.
We'll try. You know.
I can't get my mic right.
Oh,
I thought it was all right over there, but no, that'll do. That's fine. It's just because I noticed as I turn to you, the mic's like right off away from me. But I think we're sorted now.
Okay, cool. So we're ready to go.
I think we are.
Yeah. So we'll start with a little bit of news, I think, this week. We like to do a bit of current affairs at the top of the programme.
Yeah.
This week, I don't know, are we going to start serious?
Yeah, I think I know, like we've said in the beginning podcast, we don't like to do political stuff because we're not political.
No, not
but I
really.
think it'd be quite ignorant of us to ignore.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what the word means, but it'd be quite ignorant to ignore what's going on in Syria. Their chemical weapons attack. Yeah, shit, innit?
Yeah. In fact, I go so far as to say fucking shit.
Yeah, fucking shit. So that's I just think it, when I first heard about it, and then on the radio, I was in the car with Liz, and I heard on the radios last week they said about the chemical attack, and they've sent UN's weapons inspectors over there, and I was just like, "There's our next war." Yeah,
well, yeah, but we're not involved. We're not going to be involved.
No. But it was voted. Like, no. But what have the UN weapons inspectors found? I reckon. I know they've been pulled out early now, it says, but I reckon it will come out either they found the weapons, so we can't ignore that. So they'll have to go in there.
Yeah.
Or I think America is going to go over there, and UK can't leave America to do it on their own.
Well, no, this is the thing, because America seem to have taken the tack that they're going to go in guns blazing as per.
Yeah.
But we've voted out of the war, and now they're saying that France is their oldest ally in the world, and our special relationship has been compromised nowadays. By the sounds of it, we're out of the circle of trust.
So what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I still reckon we're going to go over there eventually.
Yeah. My whole thing is really Iraq and Afghanistan have not been the easiest of wars.
There's still
a lot of problems in these Middle Eastern countries, and to be quite honest, all we've got out of it, all we've got out of it so far is more radicalised youth.
Yeah.
Looking to bomb people or cut them up in the middle of London, or do you know what I mean? Like, it just seems to be that is what's coming out of these wars in the Middle East.
I mean, Iraq and Afghanistan was over oil.
Well,
guess
what?
Honest, what?
Guess what? Libya's got under the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's
it's all money. It
I don't see the point in going in there and trying to liberate people when actually the reason for going in there in the first place is oil.
Yeah.
And I think the British politicians have actually made a decent decision for once for not sending people over there, because it's a waste of money and lives
and resources,
and
it's just ridiculous. War doesn't. I mean, if anything, Iraq and Afghanistan has proved that war doesn't do anything. Like, it's not changed the country. Like, the people aren't any better off.
No, not at all. I mean,
in a sense, they are.
Well, they don't say in Iraq there's not Saddam Hussein. Yeah,
that's what I mean. They haven't got the dictators that they did have.
No,
They've
but
just
then
got different dictators.
Democratic government over there doesn't seem to be working either. So
I mean, until all the forces have pulled out completely, you're not going to know what change we've made. It could be that we'll pull out and the guy will now go, guess what? I'm just like Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah, it's just...
But yeah, I think I'm glad we're not going over there.
Yeah.
I'm quite sad that America are going over there, because they're in enough shit with their economy and everything at the minute. And they're just going to spend a lot more money.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see what our American friends would have to say about it, because I'm pretty sure not everyone in America feels that we're now letting them down by not standing side by side with them.
I think the general American population will probably be quite jealous that our troops aren't going over there.
Yeah, maybe, because I'm sure they don't want to go over and get put in danger again. But
it depends what side of the fence you sit on.
Yeah.
What colour your blood runs? Is that how they say?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's what they say over here. I don't know if it works over there.
Yeah, so that's Syria.
Yeah, I mean,
like I
just find it funny. I was looking at for the news on it, and I found two headlines on BBC. On the 31st of August, Syria crisis. Obama respects Cameron's approach.
Yes.
So he agrees. He's like, that's good.
Okay, that's cool. Whatever, you do what you want to do.
The 1st of September, Syria crisis. David Cameron supports Obama's stance. So David Cameron supports the fact that Americans are going over there.
Yeah.
It's just like, we're still friends, aren't we?
Yeah,
just not best friends
isn't
anymore.
It's like, we don't want to do what you're doing, but we're still mates, right?
Yeah. Like, it's like, we are still friends, but this is only a 2-player game, so you can't join in. But we are still friends.
Yeah, we don't really want to work with the French on this one.
Yeah. I was surprised when I heard that we weren't going over
there. So was I, because normally it's like America are like, we're going to war here, you coming? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
No. Not this time.
Seems
it's a little
Cameron's
bit like
not wearing the same lead that
it's a little bit
Tony
like
Blair did.
The scene in Love Actually with Hugh Grant as the Prime Minister stands up to Billy Bob Thornton as the President and says, we're not going to do this thing.
The difference in there was Billy Bob was like, you're going to fucking regret this.
Yeah. And it was all over.
Like, then.
And it was all over Martine McCutcheon anyway. Because Billy Bob was trying to get off with her, and that was Hugh Grant.
And Hugh Grant was like, you tried to get off with my girlfriend. Fuck you, you're going on your own.
Yeah.
We're not friends anymore.
Maybe that's what's happened. Maybe Obama
You broke the guy code. Our countries no longer like each other.
You cock-blocked me. Could be.
Yeah.
Can't see David Cameron dancing around to the Sugar Babes or whatever it was that he was dancing around to in that film.
I don't know. Maybe.
There's a challenge this week to superimpose David Cameron's head onto Hugh Grant's head in that scene.
That might be fun.
We'll see if anyone does.
I don't think we've got enough listeners yet for one of them to do that.
You never know. Know.
Are you going to go with another serious?
Yeah, I'm going to go serious as well because please, if you wouldn't mind. Legendary ex-poet laureate Seamus Heaney died at the age of 74 on Friday, I want to say. August 30th, yeah. Or was that Thursday? No, Friday, yeah. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for Literature in 1995 for works of lyrical beauty and ethical depth, which exalt everyday miracles and the living past, apparently, according to the BBC website.
I'm going to say that paragraph has as much impact on me as poetry. I don't understand.
No, I know.
A lot of that kind of
It's writing. Just that, especially in this country, if you've studied GCSE or A-level English at any point. You'll have studied some of Seamus Heaney's
Probably
work.
would have done, but it would have just been one of those things, because I don't get poetry, it would have just washed straight over me.
Yeah.
The only thing I really remember from GCSE English is The Merchant of Venice and Of Mice and Men.
Mice and Men is still on the syllabus nowadays.
Yeah, it is such a good story, though.
It is,
I
yeah.
really like it. I've still got my school copy of the book.
Right. It is good, and the film version's good with John Malkovich.
I think I only saw half of it. I only actually saw the second half, I think.
He died after being ill for a short time. Seamus Heaney in Dublin. And there's been a lot of outpouring of emotion from people as varied as the Irish Prime Minister right through to Liam Neeson. The publishers were saying we can't adequately express our profound sorrow at the loss of one of the world's greatest writers. His impact on literary culture is immeasurable. Andrew Motion, another former poet laureate, said that he was a great poet, a wonderful writer about poetry, and a person of truly exceptional grace and intelligence. Paul Muldoon, BBC Three radio presenter and Pulitzer Prize-winning Irish poet, said one of his greatest gifts was allowing people who were not necessarily that interested in poetry. I think that's not a full sentence, and I think that that's one of the reasons why he occupies such an extraordinary place in people's hearts. I mean, he was.
Sounds like he was quite loved in that circle.
Yeah,
like,
certainly
the poetry circle.
within the poetry universe, he was right up there. I mean, he's touted as the most prodigious Irish poet since W.B. Yeats, which it's quite a few years ago now. But I was just going to play quite a famous poem of his called "Digging." And it's Seamus Heaney actually narrating it as well, because I thought about reading it out myself, and then I was like, well, I don't have that. I don't think I've got the gravitas to kind of pull it off. So I thought, we might as well hear from the poet himself. So here is Seamus Heaney.
He's Irish, so he's got a better accent than us.
Yeah, exactly. So here's Seamus Heaney reading "Digging," just as a little moment of respect here on ABH Pod.
Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rests, snug as a gun. Under my window, a clean, rasping sound when the spade sinks into gravelly ground. My father digging. I look down till his straining rump among the flower beds bends low, comes up 20 years away, stooping in rhythm through potato drills where he was digging. The coarse boot nestled on the lug. The shaft against the inside knee was levered firmly. He rooted out tall tops, buried the bright edge deep to scatter new potatoes that we picked, loving their cool hardness in our hands. My God, the old man could handle a spade, just like his old man. My grandfather cut more turf in a day than any other man on Toner's Bog. Once I carried him milk in a bottle, corked sloppily with paper. He straightened up to drink it, then fell to right away, nicking and slicing neatly, heaving sods over his shoulder, going down and down for the good turf, digging. The cold smell of potato mould, the squelch and slap of soggy peat, the curt cuts of an edge through living roots awaken in my head. But I've no spade to follow men like them. Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rests. I'll dig with it.
Seamus Heaney there, and digging.
It's quite nice, actually.
Yeah.
Like when you were playing it earlier to yourself, I wasn't really listening, and all I could hear was an Irish person saying potatoes. Which, this poem doesn't do a lot for the stereotype of the Irish people and the
it's
potatoes.
all about the potato famine and all that.
But yeah, it's it's quite nice.
Yeah.
And it is nice hearing with an Irish
I think
accent.
To actually hear it by the poet himself.
Yeah,
is,
it definitely adds
something to it. So yeah, good life.
Yeah.
And I'm sure his family will will miss him. But yeah, so
quite an important
one of those
person.
Things. Yeah,
like Tom says, if you've read if you've done GCSE English, you will know a lot more.
Yeah. something slightly sad as well now. I wondered how long it would get with this whole U-Tree scandal.
I didn't want it to be true.
It
like
started
the first
out.
time.
I mean, it's like the whole Jimmy Savile thing. You know, he was hiding in plain sight most of the time. But
Yeah.
it's kind of caught up with people. Weirdly, the one person who's gotten out of it, it was Jim Davidson. Jim Davidson has been cleared of any charges.
Yeah,
But-
because he was a womanizer though, wasn't he?
By all
was,
accounts, yeah. I think it was mainly that maybe he didn't go for younger girls.
he was just a sex pest.
Yeah, but
Which is one of those terms that's a bit always a pest.
Oh, what a pest! But this week Rolf Harris has been charged with indecent assault. Rolf Harris, for those of you who don't know, probably best known for Animal Hospital, perhaps.
Yeah.
Or Rolf's Cartoon Time back in the day.
Really inappropriate thing just popped into my head.
Yeah.
Can you tell what I did yet?
Yeah, no, this is it, because it says he's been charged with 9 counts of indecent assault and 4 of making indecent images of children.
Yeah,
Like
it sounds like
making indecent
he's
images.
like portrait, like nude
Yeah, like his
life drawings. Yeah. Oh,
Can you
no,
guess
that
what
brings
yeah,
a whole new.
no, I know.
But yeah, it's like it sounds like he's done some new portraits of children.
Yeah,
which
it all
is-
sounds a bit weird, but apparently there were relate to an incident of sexual assault of a girl aged 15 to 16 between 1980 and 81, and 3 relate to a girl aged 14 in 1986. And the indecent images of children were alleged to have been made last year.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's such a shame as well because I really did like Rolf Harris.
Yeah.
He was a big part of my childhood. Like I used to watch. What was his program called?
Rolf's Cartoon Time.
Yeah, I used
Yeah.
to actually watch that, and like that did actually get me interested. And like when I was that age, I was drawing cartoons and stuff because of Rolf Harris
Yeah.
and Tony Hart.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could draw. Like, I watched those programs and was just like, oh, I wish I could do that, and tried, but failed
Yeah,
miserably.
I used to try, and I wasn't too bad, but then I just stopped drawing.
Yeah.
And I really like, and because he was acquitted before, wasn't he?
I believe so.
Well,
yeah.
he was arrested, and then they sent him away.
I think it was preliminary, because he was first arrested in March, so I suppose he was kind of taken in and then released, but now he's been re-arrested.
And now charged.
And charged, yeah. So he'll face a court appearance on the 23rd of September. There's been no public response to the charges from his lawyers or himself.
It'd be interesting to see what the Queen does with her portrait.
Well, yeah, because he was one of the last ones to do that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he done the last. What was it, the last portrait or the one before? And there was a whole program about it, and it was really, really interesting.
Yeah.
And the problem is now you're going to watch that, and it's not going to be the same.
No, I know. It's this horrible kind of realization that people aren't quite who you think they are. But I want to know as well, are they going to take away, because he was given an MBE in 1968, an OBE in 1977, and in 2006 he was advanced to CBE. So he's at the top of the honours list. Also, in 2012, he was awarded one of Australia's highest honours when he was made an Officer of the Order of Australia.
Yeah, so are they going to strip him of all his titles?
Yeah.
I mean, they can take all the Olympic medals away from Lance Armstrong. I suppose they can, because you can't
Or
have...
the Tour de France, anyway.
You can't have, and I hate to say it, a paedophile. It's really hard referring to Rolf Harris as
I know,
a paedophile.
it's horrible, isn't it?
He did play a huge part in my childhood, and
He's
in,
one of the
in an
ones
innocent way.
He's one of the ones that you don't want it to be true about.
No.
Like Jimmy Savile, as much as I quite enjoyed watching him because
was
he was just
always
an odd man.
a bit
He
weird.
always came across as a bit creepy.
Yeah, but Rolf Harris was always genuine, and I was hoping... It doesn't make it any better, but I was hoping it was all in the past. But when you say those pictures were made last year, it's kind
Yeah.
of like, oh...
Yeah, that's it. So it's continuing. And I mean, he's 83 now.
Yeah.
Like...
As long as Paul Daniels is... that's, you know...
Yeah.
Paul Daniels, I can't... If he did...
Well, it depends whether you class Debbie McGee as a child, because she is considerably younger than he is.
But she was of age when...
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's
It's
quite sad.
It is
It's
sad news, but in obviously in a different way, because...
Yeah. As obviously, if it's come out that
the other
these
ones
things
I
are
wasn't
true.
really too bothered about.
Yeah,
because
like
of
Dave Lee Travis and
Yeah,
people like
like-
that. It's not such a big deal for me. He wasn't part of my radio listening as a
No,
child.
no. But Rolf
but-
Harris.
Yeah, Rolf Harris did.
No.
Didn't want it to be true.
Wow.
But, we'll see.
I was so relieved when he was when he was released last time. But I don't know.
But now it's just a bit disappointing. I'm disappointed in Rolf.
Something a bit fun now.
Yeah, let's get
I think
on to
let's get on to
slightly
something
more
fun that happened, I
Yeah.
believe, this week. Felix Baumgartner's skydiving record has been broken.
Really?
Yeah.
Good God. Why didn't I hear about this?
Probably because it was a teddy bear called Babbage.
Oh. Right, okay.
Yeah, so it was Babbage the cuddly toy has been a rival to human daredevil Felix Baumgartner by jumping from a weather balloon in the upper reaches of the atmosphere. What it was is a guy called... I'll come off it. His name is here somewhere. Oh, fuck it. I can't find his name. There was a bloke anyway. A bloke.
Some bloke. Had a
Oh,
teddy
David
bear.
Ackerman.
Right.
David Ackerman is a software programmer. He had... You've heard of a Raspberry Pi?
Yes.
Which is like a little... It's a computer, essentially, but it's a tiny little one, and they're like 30 quid or something.
Yeah.
It's a computer that you can program. It's to teach kids about software development. But yeah, he got that, and he basically programmed it and sent the bear up. And the bear's stuffing had to be removed to put cameras and the computer inside it. Sent up to with a weather balloon to... It was only by a couple of...
Was it
It
literally
was only like a
2
few...
feet?
No, it was a couple of thousand.
Oh, right.
When you're that high, it doesn't really
Well,
matter
yeah,
how
it's-
far,
yeah.
does it? But yeah, because Baumgartner's was 38,000
I believe
metres,
so,
and this
yeah.
one was like 40,000 or something.
Okay.
So, yeah, 40,000, and it was dropped. And this bear travelled like 200 miles an hour, and he was released from Berkshire, I believe.
Oh, right, okay. So a British thing.
Yeah, and he landed in Shaftesbury.
Okay.
So-
Did he have a parachute?
Yeah.
Oh, right,
Parachute
okay.
and all, like proper weather balloon. Like the Raspberry Pi would have communicated with the guy on the ground.
Yeah.
So he would have sent up, and when it got to the height, and it would have had like an altitude meter on it, so it could see how high it was.
That's quite
And had like GPS devices. It's like add-on bits you can get, and you just basically programmed it. When it was that high, he sent the message to release it. And when it started falling, when it gets to a certain height on the fall,
Deploy
then the
the
parachute
parachute.
would deploy. With like a little £30 little computer you can buy yourself.
That's quite cool.
It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Baumgartner's going to have to
He's
get
going to have to
back
go
up.
back up there
I'm not entirely sure that counts, though.
to beat a teddy bear. Yeah, it's not a living organism, is it?
No.
They'd put, like, I don't know, some stem cells in there, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or some sea monkeys.
Yeah, yeah.
They're cheap. I don't- Yeah, so that's cool. Oh, the other thing as well, like just a quick one, was I was driving to work and I heard about the UK's net migration
Oh, yeah.
has been calculated, and I was just kind of like, I thought, my first initial thought was, oh, this is to do with like broadband and like broadband getting to loads of people's homes and
Right.
shit. But apparently it was about like people immigrating from
From other
and
places. Yeah.
and there's more people coming in than going out, isn't it? 106. It rose to 176,000 from 153,000 last year.
That's
So does
quite
that
a few.
mean there is a disparity of 176,000 people? So there's 176,000 more people coming in than going
Than
out,
leaving.
or is that the total number?
I
of
think
people
that's the
coming
total number of people coming in. Migrants are people. Yeah, I think.
In? Hang on, the increase was driven by a drop in the number of migrants leaving Britain, which fell. No,
Oh,
351,000 last year left. So 321,000 people left Britain last year.
right. But
And 497,000 came in.
right, so there's been an increase of that.
Is
yeah.
that right?
I guess
Yeah,
so.
that is.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's less people than last year coming in. So both numbers have dropped.
Right.
But
Even though
the difference,
the
has,
difference
increased
has increased.
between them has
Yeah.
increased. That's insane. How can we sustain that?
Well, we can't really. I mean, it's
Just like, and you got to think about all the people that are here already having children,
yeah, exactly.
multiple children. So like 2 people having 3 kids. That's
Yeah. But this might go some way into the aging population thing, because people are having fewer kids or having kids later on in life. So the fact is that we have to rely on immigration for people to come in to care for the elderly, because there are more elderly people now.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you're going to see more and more immigrant nurses and doctors and care assistants and stuff like that, because there aren't the young people in this country. There aren't the amount of young people in this country going into those.
And also the sad thing is, kids in
areas.
England, kids born in England, don't want to become doctors.
No, they
Like
would rather
people-
be on TV.
Yeah, people like kids. Yeah, they don't aspire to be doctors or nurses anymore.
No.
I mean, quite proud of Chloe. Like she's said for the last couple of years, like she's 6 years old, she wants to be a teacher.
That's cool.
Which is quite a good. But I mean, I suppose a lot of people do. Like, there's a lot of people want to work with children. But yeah, less and less
Not
people
so
want
much
to be
with the
doctors.
elderly.
Although saying that, yeah, for a while she did say nurse, which is quite interesting. But yeah, so it is like people don't have, like, kids don't aspire to that anymore.
No.
Or even want to fucking make YouTube videos.
Yeah. And
Or,
vines. And
or
you know,
podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
We could be doing things. I add to the economy in a way.
Yeah.
Or take away, depending on your view.
On banks, yeah. You're not a bank manager, so.
No, I'm not. I'm not one of the breadheads.
So you're like helping people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Allegedly. A town in Kent has become the first to put its Christmas lights up this week.
Yeah, I saw you put that on Facebook.
Tenterden in Kent, the Chamber of Commerce decorated a tree in the town with around 1,500 lights and said the lights are set to remain lit for the next 4 months until Christmas Day. The display, believed to be the first in the country after being rigged up in August, has gone up early to encourage people to donate money to raise £15,000 to replace lights stolen last year.
Which, you know, it's a reason.
The lights were put up by volunteers during a downpour that followed Britain's hottest summer in 7 years. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean, who?
You can do a lot more than put up Christmas lights in August to raise money.
Yeah.
For Christmas
Like,
lights.
surely, I mean, Tenterden's quite a nice.
It's a nice little town.
And it's like a spa town. It's like it's quite posh, isn't it?
It is. It is lovely though.
You know,
Like,
you won't
I've been
find
to a couple of weddings.
You
there
won't
and-
find an Aldi or a spa in Tenterden, I don't think, will you?
No,
It's more like
no.
Marks and
The
Spencer's and
supermarket that we parked
Waitroses.
at, it was Waitrose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they put, but I just
It's.
August,
to be
man.
fair, shops and stuff. I mean, like, I went. It was Liz's birthday. Bank holiday Monday.
Yep.
Sorry, I know the date. I was just trying to remember the day. It was Bank Holiday Monday this year. When I went to buy her birthday card, there were whole massive sections of Christmas cards
I know.
already out in the shop mid-August.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know that the place near where I work, where
I mean,
go,
most people might as well keep their fairy lights up all year.
yeah.
That's a visual joke for you, there.
Yeah, watch the YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, like the place where I go at work for lunch and stuff, they've got all the Halloween stuff out, which is kind of acceptable because it's nearly November, right? October?
October
Sorry.
31st, isn't it? Halloween.
Yeah.
It's just September the 1st today, so it's 2 months.
Yeah.
And that's still like...
It's still far
It felt
too
like
early
when we
for
were
me.
kids, it felt like Halloween decorations went up on the 1st of October. Christmas decorations went up at the end of November.
Yeah. Yeah,
now
but
it's
now
kinda-
it's August, apparently.
It's commercialism.
121 days before
It's
December 25th.
commercialism. It's all about money.
Yeah.
It's the
But
shops.
if you are thinking of doing your Christmas shopping, go to abhpod.com and go through the Amazon banner. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm quite proud to be living in Kent, a place where the Christmas lights go up 4 months before Christmas.
Yeah. I think one last thing, I'll just shove this in there quickly. The Nintendo 2DS has been announced.
Ooh.
Which is the Nintendo 3DS without the 3D. You can play 3DS games. It doesn't fold. It doesn't close. It's
really?
It's
It's
solid,
just-
and it's got 2 screens, and then like the buttons. It's weird looking. It's just like a budget one.
Yeah.
basically.
A bit like how the iPhone are bringing out the
Well, possibly bring out a budget iPhone. Yeah,
like we said about a little while back.
yeah. It looks weird, but I think there was a website, Polygon.com. They done a hands-on thing, and they said it's not actually as bad as it seems.
Okay.
It's a bit hard to get used to because the buttons are halfway up the device
Yeah.
to play, and
Yeah, that is a
it's
bit
clunky. I don't see why.
No.
I mean, a majority of people that you have a 3DS don't use the 3D anyway. And
It
I'd
seems a
much
bit-
rather spend the 70 quid and get a better looking device that I can put in my pocket.
Yeah.
Like this thing doesn't fit in your pocket.
Well, that's true.
It's
Yeah.
a portable
it's-
games console that doesn't fit in your pocket. I know, like back in the day with the Game Gear, you couldn't get that in your pocket.
I mean,
but-
even the Game Boy wasn't really pocket friendly because it was about
no,
3
the Game Boy
inches
Color,
thick, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Game Boy Color you could, but the original
Yeah.
Game Boy you couldn't.
Yeah, I had a proper original Game Boy, and it was
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
bigger than that actually.
Probably not much different to be fair. That's
Yeah,
just wider,
yeah.
and it's got 2 screens.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea, but with like the screens are really exposed on the DS as well. Like they don't have like the glass covering like a PSP and stuff like
No,
that.
that's right.
The touch screen is exposed, so like you're gonna break your screen.
Yeah, it just I've never really been a big Nintendo person anyway, but
Oh,
I
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got an original DS. I think it's the only console that I've ever pre-ordered, and I got on the day of release
I see.
just because I really liked it. But yeah,
But
so
no,
there's
the
that.
2DS, meh. We're just meh. There isn't
Yeah.
really an abyss in there.
Yeah, I'm not interested in it, but you know,
No.
it will go. I mean, it's good for kids, I suppose. So you spend less money on your kids.
Yeah, just go and sit in the corner.
Yeah. Can I do audio?
Oh yeah, maybe.
That didn't work.
Oh, good. I have a quiz.
Yeah, should we play the?
Let's do some
Let's
stuff.
break this up. Let's break it up into sections.
Anywhere But Here podcast. Think of it as caring the community.
Indeed. Right. So from Twitter again, like because we're trying to. I mean, some of those stories there, the Tenterden Christmas tree one was not necessarily someone on Twitter or even on Facebook really, but I found it on Facebook from my friend Grumpy Andy.
Right.
He's there on Facebook. He writes these rants. They're quite funny. He does quite funny kind of status rants.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
that was one of them. But we're trying to acknowledge the fact that people that actually correspond with us, we actually do something with the
Based
stuff that
on
they
what they
correspond,
tell us, yeah.
because we have been guilty in the past of kind of going, oh yeah, that's really good, and then kind of talking about it for 2 minutes, and then that's it.
Yeah.
This came off a massive Twitter conversation between us, Nerd Church, History of Misunderstanding, Joe, and a couple of others, I'm sure. But essentially, there are some odd place names in the UK. Very strange place names.
okay, yeah.
And,
I remember that conversation now.
I'm going to test a couple of these on you now, just to see whether they're real or not. I might not go through all of these, so I've got quite an extensive list.
Oh, okay. So,
So it's essentially true or false. You got 50%.
are they real place names or not?
Yes. So I'm going to start with Fingering Hoe.
Fingering hoe.
Hmm.
I'm going to say that one's. Have I ever heard it before? I might have heard the term before.
Hmm.
I'm going to say that one's true, even though it's so ridiculous.
Fingering Hoe is a town in Essex.
How apt. Okay. Wonder what kind of people live there.
Well, who knows? Essex types, I suppose. I'll wait until you've finished drinking because you'll spit it out.
Yeah, we're not
otherwise.
playing innuendo bingo.
Pratt's Bottom.
Pratt's Bottom is a real place.
Yeah, it's here in
I've heard
Kent.
I've heard of that one.
Studley Gerald.
Studley Gerald. No, I'm going to go against the thing and say no.
It's not real.
No.
No, it's not.
Okay.
But there is a Studley Roger in North Yorkshire.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I see what you did.
Yeah.
Studley Roger. Facial hurting already.
Shitterton,
I want that to be real.
Dorset.
Fuck's sake.
Is in Dorset. Shitterton. Shittington.
No.
It's in Bedfordshire.
Oh my god. I was going to say I have to get one wrong, and I did.
Trumpton.
No, that was a TV program.
I thought I'd put that in there just as a thing. Jeffrey's Passage.
Now I'm going to be Jeffrey's Passage. I don't think is a place as such, like a town or a village, but I think it might be. I don't know, like a name of a valley or something.
It's a street in Surrey.
See,
yes. See,
using logic.
Yeah,
it's boring though, isn't it? Because I'm kind of figuring stuff out.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Bell End.
No,
it's real. It's in Worcestershire. And also, it's near Licky End.
Oh, brilliant.
Bell End in Licky End.
There's like a couple of places I know of, but I won't say because they might be on the list.
Well, you never know. Peniston.
No, that can't be real.
It's a village in South Yorkshire.
Oh, Jesus. Who names these places?
I don't know.
They must know.
There have to be some kind of... There's got to be some etymology to it that's like, it's not
There's
what it sounds
got to be a
like,
reason,
surely.
yeah.
Fudge Pack upon Humber.
That can't be real.
It's real. It's in Humberside.
Fudge Pack upon Humber. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Thong
Yeah.
is in Kent.
Is it pronounced thong?
I don't
Or is it
know.
tongue?
It's like one of them, well, like Trotterscliff, isn't it? Which is Trosley.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
Oh my word. What's the one? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. There's like on the way up to London. There's a couple, isn't there?
Yeah.
The weird ones that aren't pronounced as it sounds.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Like Erith and
Maybe
places like that. Twat.
I want to say yeah.
It's in Orkney.
Oh my god.
On the Orkney Islands. Pudley Fitzgerald.
Pudley Fitzgerald.
Yes.
I want to say it's true.
It's not. That's actually a pseudonym that my friend Chris Osborne used to write under while we were at school.
Oh really?
Yes.
Pudley Fitzgerald. I don't know. And a shout out to a listener there. Also.
Yeah, exactly. Brown Willie.
Based upon Fudge Packer upon, I'm going to say that's true.
Yes, it's a hill in Cornwall.
Brown Willie.
I wanted to go there when we were down there at the Scientology place because it wasn't too far away, but we didn't in the end.
You wanted to go.
Wanted to get my
upon Brown Willie
photo next to the Brown Willie.
Or sit on the Brown Willie.
Who knows? The Bastard.
The Bastard. Again, I don't think that's a place as such. I think it's a thing.
It is. It's a mountain in Scotland.
Well, if you said a hill is a place, then surely the mountain.
It's kind of a place,
you've got to say
isn't
yes.
it?
So yeah, it is kind of a place.
I'm going to do a couple more because I can't get around to all of these.
No.
Although I want to. Upper Shoot.
Upper Shoot. No.
It's a place in Hampshire.
Oh my god! I thought that was one you just put because of the wordplay. Oh, that's good.
But there are also, there's so many more. Great Cock Up and Little Cock Up.
Now I know there's places in Kent. There's two places in Kent that kind of work the same way, so I'm going to say yes.
They're hills in the Lake District.
Do you know the ones I'm talking about in Kent?
No.
Upper Dicker and Lower Dicker.
Oh, are there?
Yeah.
I didn't
Did
find
you not
those.
No, there's a place called Upper Dicker and a place called Lower Dicker.
Because there's also a village near here in Kent called Sandwich, but it's only 3 miles away from another village called Ham.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realise that. I've heard of Sandwich, but...
Yeah, Ham Sandwich. I want that to be the address, though, as well. You know, like
so like the
31.
Ham is a village in in the county of Sandwich or something.
Actually, I think it is. I'm pretty sure I've sent something there from work in the past.
So you're saying it's a Ham Sandwich, Kent?
Yeah. I like it a lot. Cock Intake.
Oh, yes.
Is a place in Staffordshire.
For fuck's sake.
I'm not very imaginative. That's the thing.
No, but the thing is, it's kind of like it gets to a point where they all have to be real.
I know.
Because it's just so absurd.
There's other places like Nork Rise.
And Nork, if you're not aware,
is another word for boobs.
Yeah. Or look at an Orcs.
Cockermouth in Cumbria.
Oh my Fucking Christ.
Which ones haven't I? Titty Ho is
Titty Ho.
in Northamptonshire.
I've heard of Titty Ho before.
Wet Wang in East Yorkshire.
Yeah, that's a famous one, isn't it? Oh, that's the one you're talking about on
We were
Twitter,
talking
Wet Wang,
about,
wasn't it?
that was the guys from A History of Misunderstanding, because they come from Yorkshire.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of a few
That
place
is
names for you.
interesting.
I mean, less of a quiz and more of a reading
just
of
a
the
true or
list.
false on like really strange facts.
But I thought that would
Like
be
the
quite
thing is, a
amusing.
lot of these it does get me thinking. Did a lot of like the words we use today? Did they come from the place names?
Yeah, I mean, there's a place.
Was like the word Norks used for
Was it
tits
something
before?
else?
Was it because there was a girl from Nork with huge boobs? So
Maybe,
someone
yeah.
went, "Oh, that girl from Nork."
Or maybe it was a couple of hills that looked like breasts.
So
Who
they
knows?
started calling them Norks.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing.
I'd have to look
Jesus.
more into these. Maybe I'll look more into the etymology of strange place names for next week.
Yeah, fucking Wet Wang and like I know, like in Maidstone specifically, there's a lot of street names based on historical figures, like Wyatt Street is based on Thomas Wyatt,
Wat Tyler Way,
and Wat Tyler Way, and yeah, so it's like, and a lot of places like where I used to live, the road names are based like on trees and things like that. But Wet Wang and
I mean, where does it come from?
like Fudge Packer upon
Fudge Pack upon Humber.
like
It's like,
what?
if you live in Fudge Pack upon Humber, please get in contact with us.
Yeah, like, why would you use? I mean, it's a really long name as well.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck's sake. Oh, that is good though.
I liked
Very
it.
good.
Oh, he's yawning again.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why. 20 minutes. Well, like I said to you, I've got on the ABCs, I've actually got two. That
Yeah,
I
I've
kind of
got a
wanted to
couple.
play, and you said you've got a couple. We're spoiling you this.
We
week.
are, yeah.
So I think,
we're making up for those weeks where we were a bit rubbish.
shall we go into it then?
Why not?
The ABCs of ABH. What letters today?
And I like the fact, I don't know if it was an accident. When I was asking you if you had your R for this week, you replied with R-A-R-E.
Did I?
Yeah, I've got my R,
I've got my
A-R-E.
I've got an R.
What shall I start with something that's coming out or something that is out fairly new? What do you want?
Start with the thing that the thing that's coming out.
The thing that's come
Yeah,
out. That's
yeah.
good because I've already got that
Good.
loaded up. I need to let it I'll let it buffer for a little bit while I talk
Righto.
about it.
Okay.
It is a PlayStation exclusive game. I think it's going to be one of those ones that's going to make the Xbox fans jealous
Oh,
that we're getting it and they're not.
is this the PS4?
No, it's PS3 actually.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's coming out 1st of October in the US, 2nd of October in Europe.
Right.
I've already pre-ordered it. It's $9.99.
Oh.
So I think it's going to be like one of those small games that's quite quick to play. Kind of. I don't know if it's an indie title or not, but it's called Rain.
Right.
And
RAIN.
yes, Rain.
Right.
Lowercase r.
Okay. And uppercase the rest?
No.
Oh no.
All
okay.
lowercase. But
Righto.
yeah, so it's called Rain. I think it's about, because there's a gameplay footage out now, and I don't think there's a lot about what the game, like the story of the game, except you are a boy. You start out, you're a boy, and I think you see a girl kind of running through the rain, and she's obviously. So you go out and you get curious and you go out to find her for some reason, as like little boys do. They go chasing girls in rain
Well,
that
yeah.
they see out of the window. But when you go outside,
Is she only wearing a tight white t-shirt? Or
well,
something?
no. When you go outside, I think the reason you follow the girl is because it's the shape of a girl as the rain's falling. Like you don't
Okay.
actually see the girl.
Right.
I think because when you go out as the boy, you disappear
Okay.
and you're only the rain. So you're playing a character who's only like
That is
rain.
hidden in the
it's
rain.
just that as the rain hits him,
Okay.
his body, and you're running about, and then eventually like these dog-like monsters chase you. So you have to kind of hide under shelter and stuff, so you completely disappear, so they can't see you.
I see.
And they're
Yeah.
invisible as well.
Oh,
And I mean that's pretty much all there is of it. But
Okay.
obviously we'll put the video on YouTube. And I've got new little fancy effects I'm going to do
Hey.
for you. But we won't watch all of it because it's like a
nearly
5 minute
6 minute
video.
long.
But it is just really good, and when you start out on the game, you kind of get the story. You start playing straight away, and the story comes up
Right.
like in text on walls and things, and as you're
okay.
doing things. and it just looks so good. See, there you're the little guy, there's a monster behind that fence.
Yeah, trying to break through.
And this is like chapter 1 of the game. This isn't the intro chapter like I saw, because I didn't save it. But it is an interesting look. It's like that scene in Hollow Man.
Yeah, it is a bit.
When he's in the water, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm not sure if that noise of the rain is going to get in my tents.
Just constantly. Will it make you need to use the toilet?
Yeah, so you see the girl's silhouette had already melted away. And it kind of comes up as text on the background, and you've just got to find your way through. And I just think it looks really, I'm quite excited for this.
It does look quite good.
Yeah, and there's no fighting.
Right,
it's all hiding.
Just hiding.
But you're kind of using the terrain to hide yourself.
That's quite good, I think, because there's too many games where you just fight your way out of things. I think it's more, there's more skill in being stealthy, isn't it?
Yeah, it does force you to think about stuff. I just think it looks really good, and I like the way they've done the text across the screen, and I think that happens the whole way through it.
Yeah.
It tells a story, there's no dialogue, it's all text. And it is, I'm quite excited about it.
Yeah,
and the music sounds good. The pre-order as well, you get some like wallpapers and themes for your PS3, and you get the sound, like the mini soundtrack, I think, which is like just the music. And you go, he's inside now, and you can see his footsteps in the puddle.
Cool, yeah.
And when you step out of the puddle, you get footsteps, wet footprints on the floor.
So at least you know where you are.
And you knock into things and stuff. So I just think it looks really good.
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah. Yeah, I might have to give that a bit of a download as well at some point.
Yeah, I've set a reminder on my phone as well to fund my wallet, my play, because you can't. It doesn't charge a bank. You have to put money in your PlayStation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's one of those ones that, like I say, Xbox owners are going to kind of be a bit. Oh shit! Why can't we have that?
Hopefully.
So that is Rain, which I'm quite excited about.
Yeah.
Do you want to do your one while I load up my next?
Yeah,
video?
sure. Why not? Mine actually is a computer game as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's by Rockstar, who make all the best games. Let's face it. You know, you got your Grand Theft Autos and Bully and all the rest of it. They've done, and they're always brilliant games. But I think probably the best game ever made.
Oh wow!
Red Dead Redemption.
This is one I haven't played, but it was. What happened to my? It was on the PlayStation Plus.
Yes.
You know, as a free download.
Right.
So I did click download, even though I didn't have the space. So if I ever want to download it,
it's there.
It's there for me now.
It's well worth it.
It is.
Yeah. Oh,
it's one of these like got to spend a long time. What was the first
story,
one? Red Dead Revolver.
Red Dead Revolver, which I never played and wasn't Rockstar as far as I know.
Oh really?
I think Rockstar took over the franchise and then made Redemption. And essentially the story's amazing. The story is great, and you know, like a lot of these kind of open-ended games where you can go off and do whatever you want, like Grand Theft Auto, sometimes the story is secondary to what you can do, just go around and prat around.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, the story is amazing. Like, it's really well put together.
It's a western.
It's a western, yeah. Basically, you play this guy John Marston, and his family have been taken hostage by the FBI, and he's been kind of blackmailed by them into chasing down various outlaws and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And through it, you can kind of it's got there's a America part of it, like there's the Midwest, which is all desert and stuff, and then you go down into Mexico. Across a river, you go down into Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So
it's quite expansive then.
And then later in the game, you go up into the northern territories. So it's all kind of, there are mountains and snow. And
wow, I didn't realise it was that big.
Oh, it's massive. It is huge. And also, all the weather effects are dynamic. It's real time. Well, not real time, but there's a clock in it. And,
okay, yeah.
It goes.
So a day is like 10 minutes or something.
You can go from dawn right the way through midday, dusk, sunset, night.
Wow.
And sometimes, I mean, I think it's been mentioned on another podcast, but you can sit there and just watch the scenery.
Watch the day happen.
Yeah, and it changes. Like in the sunset, all the rocks are like purpley
Oh wow!
Like,
so it's like dynamic lighting.
Oh, it's amazing! Yeah. It's so good, and there's wildlife around, like there's snakes and there's rabbits and there's coyotes and wolves and stuff, and you can hunt them and kill them and skin them and sell the skins and.
Oh wow! So yeah, I think they've done that with the new Tomb Raider as well. I don't know if you sell the skins, but you use the stuff that you scavenge from dead bodies and stuff to upgrade weapons and things.
Yeah, I mean this is, and also you've got like there's other elements too where like you unlock outfits by doing various things.
Yeah.
There's bounty missions where you pull down a wanted poster, and you either bring them in dead or alive.
Yeah. That's cool.
Gonna have to. It's amazing, and it's got some really good add-ons as well. There's one especially called Undead Nightmare.
Yeah, that was on there as well, and I think it's still on there. I think I can get that.
Yeah, effectively zombies invade the world in the Midwest, and you go around trying to fight zombies. That's
cool.
It's
I
amazing.
think I'm going to have to upgrade my hard drive, PS3 hard drive, because I think I've only got the 60 gig at the minute.
Right.
Because I've got the fat PS3. I think I'm going to have to get a bigger hard drive just so I can download it and play it.
It's an amazing game. It will take it can take as long as you want, but also the storyline is long enough that that you could just do that and it would still take hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, I think like it is kind of like an average I don't know the average playtime, but it is multiple, like 20-30 hours average playtime for games now.
And it's got such a complex...
Like when you used to get Final Fantasy games, it fucking takes so long to play that. It's just like all games do now.
Yeah. But those are the kind of games I love, because I grew up on Final Fantasy, and I should have done Final Fantasy for my F instead of whatever the fuck I did do F.
I can't remember what it was.
But yeah, those are the games that I kind of grew up on, and I really like those completely immersive, story-driven games.
I do love that, and I just wish I wasn't so scatty. I think it's again with my
short-term memory thing, wasn't it?
No, it was the other one. That was procrastination.
Yeah.
Where I start playing a game. And then on a podcast, I'll hear them talking about another game, and I go, well, I'm going to put that one down and start playing this one. And so the hours that I've spent on like my Tomb Raider, I got that because I really, 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 really wanted it. I played about 4 hours. And I haven't touched it for weeks, months even.
It's one of them things.
Because I started playing Half-Life 2, because I really wanted to actually complete that now. I've put that down because I started playing fucking Walking Dead because it was on the Steam sale. It's just, I can't stick to something. But I've got something in the works that might stop me doing that. That I might talk about in a few weeks.
Okay.
I might not do that either. It's another one of those things where it's an idea and it'll probably just go out the window.
Who knows?
But yeah, so my second R. Now you're a fan of like anime manga, aren't you?
Yes.
Right. You've heard me talk about Rooster Teeth, which is like the gaming
Vodcast
company.
Yeah.
No, they're not a vlog. They're not? They do game videos and things.
Okay.
Roosterteeth.com and YouTube as well. But also they've got an animation departments where they make like animation shorts, and they make. Well, it's what they started with was a thing called Red vs Blue, which was what do they call it? It's where you basically take computer game characters and you make films out of them.
Okay.
And they started doing Red vs Blue, and they're like just about to start season 11 of that.
Right.
So it's been going for years, and it's really, really, really popular, and it is really funny, even if you don't like Halo. But they, one of the guys who was working on season 10, Monty Oum, I think.
Right.
But he had a concept for a thing that he wanted to do, and it was called RWBY, spelled RWBY, when you look for it. And I've started watching. They're up to like episode 6 now. But this is the first trailer they released, which took about 2 weeks to do.
Right.
And it's called Ruby Red. Now, Ruby is because the characters, the first one is called Ruby, with a U, not the W.
Right.
There's one called Weiss, one called Blake, and one called Yan.
Right.
Also, the colours, they're red, white, blue and yellow.
I see.
And the names are actually to do with the colours as well. But this is a trailer for RWBY. Again, YouTube, I'll put it there for you and we'll put the link. But I think you'll like it. Just because it's insanely awesome. How would you pronounce that?
Monty Oum.
And visually as well, it is just... It looks really nice.
Yeah, I do like that style.
The music's really and the music is sung by the composer's daughter, and the composer works for Rooster Teeth as well, I believe.
So it's a Little Red Riding Hood again.
Yeah, that's how she's styled, like Little Red Riding Hood. Wow, this song sounds awesome through headphones. I hope this doesn't stop the button. I don't need a ruler. But that weapon is even more awesome than
Basically being attacked by wolves, just jumps into the air, wow, a massive gun, which now turned into a stock.
all the weapons have dual abilities in this. Positions are awesome. Boom! So she hooked the side around the wolf's neck and held it there, and then used the recoil of the gun to chop it in half. But it is like, yeah, all of the weapons, like I say, are kind of dual wielding weapons.
Yeah.
And they're up to episode 6, and essentially what it is they go to school where they train and learn how to fight monsters in like teams. But it is just incredible. And it is really funny as well. Like, they've just gone into a forest where they're actually fighting monsters now in episode 4 or 5 in their teams. But I imagine this is probably something you're going to look up for.
Yeah, quite possibly.
And there are trailers for each character, for the 4 characters.
It's ludicrously.
It's anime.
Yeah.
Like the fighting is just like, it's not possible. It's just sort of like when I watched Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I hated it because seeing actual people fight like that was ridiculous. But when you see cartoons fight like it, it works.
Like flying through the air and wielding great sides.
And using it to propel yourself along. It's crazy.
That's ludicrous.
Yeah. But it ends so well. Just looks cool. It is brilliant.
Just
the animation is stunning.
Yeah, it does look brilliant.
Yeah. It is cool.
I'll be looking those up for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, it is kind of misleading because the episodes aren't like that. It's not that much carnage for that long. Like, they're quick fights. And it is kind of funny as well, but I just really, really enjoy it.
And
I think
cool.
people that listen to this podcast, if you like the same sort of stuff as us, you probably will like that.
Yeah, more than likely. I'd have thought
It's just fun. Are you going to go for your second now?
Yeah, alright, just quickly. I mean, essentially, it's just basically reading in general. I've started to read again in the last couple of years, I suppose. I stopped reading for ages and ages.
Yeah.
And, reading is actually something I really enjoy doing now.
Yeah.
And I think it's in a world where there's so much visual entertainment that sometimes I think it's an important thing to keep reading. Because it does, it improves your vocabulary and it improves your concentration. And
it also activates your imagination. Like you had as a kid, when you were a kid, you could imagine anything you wanted. And as an adult, you kind of lose that ability. But if you're reading books, it forces you to use your imagination, I think
the more films and video games that you play, you do lose part of that imagination because it's all done for you. There's no need to use your imagination, you know. And I've read some of the classics now as well, like Dracula.
So I've never read that, to be fair.
Some of those, and it's interesting because obviously it's written in an 1800s Gothic style, so it's kind of a bit like Frankenstein as well. It's the diaries of these people. It's not a narrative. It's
cool.
Diaries, excerpts from all the characters.
Yeah, it's kind of like the newest one about like that. I think it's probably World War Z, which I've got and I plan to read.
That's true.
Yeah, it's where it's like a journalist who's interviewing like the people who went through the war, rather than like the film, which is the war itself. I agree. I do read. I've been reading more, and I'm trying to read a lot more.
Yeah.
but it's hard to do. I'm
Because I'm
still
also
reading
trying
Game
to
of
read more
Thrones.
fiction as well, because I did read just autobiographies
okay.
for the longest time. And I think, like you say, fiction forces you to use your imagination a bit more. I'm aware that we're at the hour now, so I'm going to leave it there, I think.
I think that's...
Keep it at the hour. But
reading
yeah,
is
go and
definitely-
read some stuff. I mean, I've read some really interesting stuff. Maybe I'll start doing mentioning books that I've read as well as films that I've seen and stuff like that, because I've seen quite a few films recently that I haven't mentioned on the podcast just yet.
Yeah.
But,
Cool.
we'll talk about those at another point.
Yes.
Brilliant.
I
So
think that's a good way to wrap it up.
I
Well
think
done.
so. Yeah, great.
That
Well,
felt good.
Anywhere but here this week. Thanks for listening. I've been Tom.
I've been Ant.
Bye.
Bye-bye.